Did anything happen this past week? Anything of importance affecting life, the economy, real estate? No? Nothing? Well, welcome to the Truth About Real Estate Investing show. My name is Erwin Cito, and since there's nothing going on, we'll just skip straight to this week's guest. Whoa, what historical times we live in. I say these words at least once a week, that we live in historical times. And at least we'll see some cheap gas prices at the pump. I jumped the gun yesterday and filled up on regular gas at 93.9 cents per liter. And now an hour later, it was below 90 cents. For those who aren't following, oil prices have fallen about 30%, depending on when you're listening to this. I haven't seen gas prices like this since pre-Hurricane Katrina in 2005. That's 15 years ago, where we would see prices below 90 cents. I remember when all the gas stations had to update their signs to accommodate the extra digit, as gas prices skyrocketed and never came back down below $1. Cheap gas is great for disposable income for the most of us. This is terrible news for Canada's energy sector in Alberta and Saskatchewan. Not great for the overall Canadian economy either. This will mean delayed investment in our oil sands, likely job layoffs, and more hits to their economy and, of course, the overall economy for Canada. I'll make sure to reach out to my Alberta real estate friends of this show to get their insights on their local real estate markets. One of them, Edmonton investor Jared Hope, he shared on his Facebook how he just got a 5-year mortgage for 2.59%, and he is extremely happy about that. Some of you may have noticed we missed a podcast episode last week, even though my family and I were away in Florida to attend a wedding. My team and I still had an episode ready to go. However, our guest had to postpone her event that she was promoting. An event that included me as a speaker. So sadly, we will have to redo that amazing interview when we have new dates to share. The event that she was planning was to host a few thousand people in Toronto. However, based on the studies that are coming out related to coronavirus, staying away from large enclosed crowds makes a lot of sense. So the stock markets are way down. I actually think there is more to give, as we're only learning how infectious the virus is. Long term, I believe this too will pass, but the pain in the next 3 to 6 months could be significant, as our hospitals are overwhelmed, factories are temporarily closed, just like we saw in China, and we can't buy goods, including prescription drugs. So yeah, some think this isn't a big deal, but when you consider the fact factories were closed for like a month in China, and how a good percentage of no-name drugs are manufactured in China, prescription drugs, you got to imagine a lot of people will be not be best served by that. I personally did just spend $644 at Costco yesterday on food. It was almost entirely on food, plus a bunch of socks for myself because they were on sale. No toilet paper though. I was planning on buying one pack. I didn't because they were sold out. But I buy toilet paper regularly whenever it's on sale, so we have quite a bit already, so we're good on that level. Bringing this back to real estate, because this is a real estate show, it doesn't take much to spook the market. There are if you recall back to like 2017, there were very few buyers out there immediately following the Housing Fairness Plan when it was executed. So, they announced it a few months ahead of time, and then once it came into effect, the market died down significantly. I remember when I was looking at a property to buy in a great area, it was in great condition. It was pretty much turnkey, not turnkey for me since I have suite basements, but the separate side entrance for easy basement suiting for a second rental. So the house already had a separate side entrance with stairs to the basement, which allows for easy basement suiting for second rental income. 3 months earlier, if this was before the Housing Fairness Plan came into effect, that same open house would have been a zoo. At least there would have been at least 6 or more offers, likely in the double digits. At the open house that I was at, there was no one. It was just me and the 2 listing agents. The day after the open house, I made an offer that was well under asking, with 5 business days for both financing and home inspection conditions, as I was the only offer. I was in a room to negotiate. The selling agents were great to deal with, as I was their only customer, so nothing was rushed. It wasn't just like a text message or an email saying, we have 12 offers, send us your best. No, it was great dialogue. They're great to work with. Most agents are great to work with, allowing, if there's allowed time, not when there's like 70 offers on a property. I even got a price reduction for some unforeseen stuff I found during the home inspection. Fast forward to today, present time, my team of investor realtors have told me their deals that they're offering on consistently have 4, 6, 9. On this past weekend, there was a house with 21 offers on a house that we would have considered. On one of our own listings, we had 2 offers on a property. That doesn't sound much, but understand the property wasn't listed publicly. It was just an exclusive. That one too went over asking. My guess is we're going to see some softness in the real estate market, though, coming soon, when people are too scared to buy a new house. Remember, people don't buy homes unless they're very confident in their financial situations, right? That's the general market. No different than buying a new car. You have to have quite a bit of confidence in your ability to make income if you're going to make such significant investments for years to come. Or they'll be too busy taking care of their kids if schools close, or they'll be self-quarantining, or they'll just be too afraid to go out in general. If we didn't just buy our office, I would be readying our mortgage qualification documents, ready to pounce on an opportunity. Not right away. I think there's more fear to come out in the market, and it's no different with the stock market. I've transferred cash and now patiently waiting for an opportunity. Cherry's opening an account too, so that we may both learn from this experience and hopefully create significant wealth, like past guest of the show, Brian Zammit. If you haven't listened to that episode, highly recommend that you do. He was able to accurately pick the bottom of 2008, 2009, and 2 years later, him and his wife were able to retire in 2011. You better believe I'm in regular contact with Brian Zammit and my own coach. Yeah. Fear and down markets mean opportunities for those who are brave and those who have cash and credit available. I don't know if I repeated that often enough on this show, but I do say this pretty often, maybe not enough on the show, but those who have cash and credit in periods of correction can win. So be ready if you can get those things ready. This show has never been about getting rich quick or no risk or no effort, but rather the truth about investing. Yes, stock investors and are losing money right now, and it's not fun. I haven't been able to avoid that either. I won't be surprised if real estate prices decline or that we see another recession. The other truth is I regret not having the knowledge of how to take advantage of market corrections back in 2008, because I didn't understand how it happened at the time. I didn't have an understanding of the mortgage market in the US, or how these mortgage companies and banks were selling off these mortgage products and making them securitized investments and selling them off to all sorts into the open market, and the false debt ratings and all those sorts of fun things. I didn't understand. I didn't have context. I didn't know what was going on. If I had known, I would have taken much better action in order to benefit from the correction, both the stock market and the housing correction. So I took responsibility that this would never happen again. I've got myself educated, surrounded myself with the right people to be ready for this moment. The year of 2020 will be one to remember as both a terrible year for mankind and also one of opportunity. I do hope you all stay safe, wash your hands, stay healthy, and make a massive difference for your financial futures. On to this week's show. Jamie and Leslie and Aaron Collard. Jamie and Leslie are husband and wife team who spent the last few years building financial freedom through real estate acquisitions. Their focus in the past year has been on apartment buildings with an acquired 73 units. Fantastic. They were able to retire before turning 40 of age. And if you ever meet Leslie, I think I mentioned in the podcast, in the interview, she still gets carded. It's astonishing that she's almost 40. They have the freedom to spend more time as a family, travel when they choose to, and have no worries about their financial future. The same thing I wish for all of you. Throughout their journey, they have become passionate about sharing with others how they use real estate to build their wealth. Because it was a challenge for them to learn the high-level real estate investment strategies in their business, they have created their own education series that will allow others to learn from the experts in the field. Aaron Collard is their 11-year-old son, and wait till you hear what he's up to. I am thoroughly impressed. So without further ado, I give you Jamie, Leslie, and Aaron Collard. Do you invest anywhere else besides Brantford? In
We're
Curacao?
in Woodstock, Hamilton. Yeah.
The funny thing about Woodstock, I remember my first exposure to Woodstock was they don't have their own real estate board. So like nobody had their data.
I know. Yeah.
How do you run comparables? Let's use realtor.ca and use asking prices. Like,
That's exactly right. Yeah. Yep.
Is it still like that?
Yep.
Because it's a fair sized city now, is it not?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's getting like the population is growing like crazy. So I can't remember. Did they get a real estate board now?
It's 41,000 people.
Yeah.
And they're not serviced by a real estate board.
Yeah.
They probably are now.
Maybe they are now.
Maybe they are now, but yeah.
It's growing like crazy.
Can we talk about Woodstock? No one's talked about Woodstock on this show.
Woodstock, we only have a couple like duplexes there.
Cool.
Yeah, but it's good. It's definitely good prices still there. So yeah.
Amazing. How's your stock hacking going?
So I did really well on paper.
Uh-huh.
The first thing I did when I funded my account was TD, and then TD dropped.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So now I own TD right now, so I'm just just writing covered calls on it right now.
What do you own it for?
75.
Awesome. What's it today?
It's right around 75 right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I should be able to get out of it right soon here.
So, and it's funny because like the first like week and a half, Nike, I had Nike and it was like amazing. And I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. And then it just slowed right down. But that being said, we don't have very much in our accounts. So it's like, I'm on there every day and I'm like, it's still not at a point where I can do anything else yet. But we're going to be putting more money into the account. But I want to do the advanced course first.
Yeah, it's not necessary.
It's not?
No. Yeah. We have lots of beginners doing very well without having to attend the advanced class.
Really? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely not. Adriano had like no proper training.
I know, he's crazy, eh? I love seeing the videos of him. He's so funny. I feel like him and I could be really good friends. He's just really funny.
He's in Hamilton often. It's not hard to get him for lunch. Yeah.
Oh, we should go for lunch with him. He's really funny. I like him.
Because that'll probably give you a lot more confidence. Because that gave me a lot of confidence. How it's not anything crazy or anything. Because he just showed me on his phone. He doesn't do a whole ton of analysis. But again, he's having a bit more practice. And as you can imagine, if you have a larger bankroll, you can make mistakes because you can just keep averaging in.
Yeah.
As long as you've chosen your stock correctly, it will come back, right?
Yeah. We're selling one of our houses in Woodstock, so that money is going to go into the stock. So we haven't. It's funny because there's like our friends are either like totally into this now, or they're like totally anti.
Really?
Yeah.
Better not be Doug. You better not be one of the antis.
No, he's not. Not at all. No. Actually, him and Anna have been really, really good because Anna, I've seen her post a few things lately about how like her and Doug do invest in the stock market. And I was surprised that she put that out there. And Doug talked to us about it, and he likes the options.
Yeah, he talked to us actually before he signed up to ask us about it. And if we liked it.
Yeah, no, he's good.
If I can offer one piece of advice, just add Bollinger Bands to your to your graphs, to your charts. I did a webinar earlier today just for some clients, and I'll make sure to send you guys the link. So
Okay.
yeah, I did like a brief coaching session for one of my clients who's struggling. So I said, I said I'd do it if actually no, I was gonna do it. I asked if they would volunteer and be my guinea pigs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're just overthinking it.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we don't overthink it, do we? We're just like, yeah, this looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. We're pretty risk tolerant though, right? Like, whatever. It is what it is. You know, we're kind of at that stage in our life where it's like, I know this sounds terrible to say, but it's like, well, it's only $10,000. I mean, you know, like whatever.
Yeah, for people who are trying to make a six-figure income out of this, like 10,000 isn't a huge amount of money.
Yeah.
Amazing. And I don't want to talk about stock hacking forever because it still is a real estate show. But my office will be ready hopefully by May, and so we'll actually host some stock hacker meetups there.
Oh,
Okay.
awesome.
Starting May.
Yeah, we'd love to do that. Yeah.
So the advanced class, yes, I definitely recommend more education. I've been doing a lot.
Yeah.
I actually hired a coach as well.
You did?
Yeah.
Where's the coach? We love coaching.
Yeah.
We love it.
They're new to it. It was something they were planning on doing this year. So let me be the guinea pig first before I recommend.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
You know, it's wow. It's wow because I'm doing stuff now.
Mind?
I'm doing much more advanced stuff now as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. We like to do coaching, right? I want to learn from the people that are doing it the best way they are, or they can be, and then I just want to do exactly what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
We don't like to reinvent the wheel. Like, I don't want to try new strategies. I just want to know how to do it properly, and we'll go to town.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, does that translate to real estate?
Oh, yeah.
How did you guys start? Actually, what were you guys doing before you guys went hardcore at real estate?
I was a probation officer.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Because you look like a probation officer.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're actually like 20 years old, Leslie.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aaron. Did you hear that?
Don't you get carded? Do you get carded still?
Yeah, all the time. It's
yeah,
great.
I thought so.
I'm 40. I am almost 41.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jamie, go ahead.
Yeah, I own an automotive repair shop.
No kidding.
I started up about 5 years ago. Yeah.
And how long you been in that? Were you doing that as an employee before that, or?
I was a mechanic before that. Yeah, since I was out of high school.
And what cities did you have these careers in?
Paris, Ontario, and then now our mechanic shop is literally in our backyard behind our house.
No kidding. And where is what city is that?
Burford. Small town of Burford.
Okay, you're the second people I know from Burford.
Really?
You know
Who
somebody
else?
else?
Someone I met in university.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And yeah, it's been that long. It's been 20 years. So,
yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
And population of Burford, and you don't invest? Do you invest in Burford?
Yeah,
we actually do, and it's the best cash flowing properties that we own.
One of the best.
Okay,
yeah.
Tell me more. Tell me more about Burford, Ontario.
So Burford is there's what?
1,200 people.
12 to 1,500. The population's kind of growing. You know, it's almost like a metropolis now. So yeah, we've always lived in Burford our whole life, both of us, and then we started investing here, right? Because part of what we like to do is find the worst house on the best street, fix it up for the community, and make it into like really nice rentals, right? So there's been a couple of houses here in Burford that we thought we'd try out, and it's been awesome.
Yeah, so we have a duplex and a triplex here.
Yep.
Is that where you started? Did you start in Burford?
We started in Woodstock.
Woodstock was our
started
first.
In Woodstock. Okay.
Yeah.
Burford was our second one.
Yep.
We do well. Like surprisingly, like we have a 3-bedroom lower unit in our duplex, and we get $1,650
in Burford
a month out of it. Yeah.
Plus utilities.
Plus utilities. Um,
Supply and demand.
And
We love it.
we didn't even advertise it. Like that
No.
was just like
Yeah.
they took it before we even renovated it.
That's
They said,
incredible.
"Yeah, we'll take it."
Yep.
How much is that
And then
property?
our other what's that?
How much is that
What did we
property?
pay for that?
We paid $275 for it.
$275. Yeah.
Okay.
We refinanced it already when we bought it and pulled out all of our money, and now we just did another unit in it, fix it up. So we're going to refinance that one again, but it is still going to cash flow like crazy.
Yeah, the
Crazy.
1 bedroom in the back, we just rented it out for what, $12.75.
Yeah, not listed.
So where did you find the tenant, or how did the tenant find you if it wasn't listed?
Our property manager,
Yeah,
Cam,
Cam Baker.
the
Yeah.
tenant found him and asked him.
Got it. That's always a sign of a good property manager when they have they already have tenants already ready to go.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Our other little sweet spot is Waterford, small town of Waterford.
Okay.
We bought a fourplex there for 260 grand. We put 200,000 into it,
It was pretty it
was rough.
It was rough, yeah.
but now it cash flows after the refinance. It cash flows at about
32 a year.
32,000 a year.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And say like for a 2 bedroom there, we're getting 1,500. And the 1 bedroom upstairs unit's 1,100.
Yep.
These are amazing numbers. You're gonna find all no. I wish I could measure the Google traffic from people from Toronto. People typing in Waterford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are these towns and cities all near you?
Yeah. Yeah. They're all Waterford's like 20 minutes away. So they're all like little towns, but we're just finding our area the population is growing
Mhm.
and there's not enough rentals.
Mhm.
So, I mean, supply and demand has been in our favor. We actually have another triplex in Waterford, and all 3 units were rented. People came to us.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because I think you're
So-
renting faster than the bigger cities are, and your rents aren't that far from the bigger cities.
No.
No.
Because you
the
both
price-
invest in bigger cities too. Because we haven't gotten to Brantford and Hamilton yet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you've
We did
where
the
to go.
smaller ones first because the price point was so cheap.
Uh-huh. Then why the motivation to go to bigger cities like Brantford and Hamilton?
Bigger buildings. That's exactly what it came down to.
Oh, okay. So you just want more
So-
scale. You want more doors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The other problem we found with small towns is refinances
Hmm.
are not as good because there's no comparables.
Interesting.
So they appraise pretty low on a refinance.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't get. I mean, it's been hard. One of ours, we could only get 75% loan to value. I know, poor us, right? But I mean, it makes a difference sometimes, right? So we want 80% loan to value.
Right.
But yeah,
And like our appraisal on our fourplex, the cash flows that like 32,000. She said, well, I kind of went back and forth with the appraiser. She would only appraise it at 500,000.
Mhm.
And I'm like, but it cash flows like over $30,000. She goes, nobody would pay more than 500,000 for this building, though. I'm like, oh yes, they would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Some people don't understand business that people will pay for cash flow.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I'll pay that for 32,000 a year. Of course
And
I
it's
would.
like, and they're 4 brand new units. Like,
Yeah.
do we-
Tell their appraiser to keep telling that story to people and to call you.
Yeah.
And you'll give them a finder's fee.
Yeah, for sure.
no.
I'm not advising anything, folks. Just for this a disclaimer here.
Yeah.
I'm just like thinking out loud. This is not advice by any means.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive stuff. But yeah, because of scale and for comparables and for refis, that kind of forced you into bigger cities and for
Yeah,
more scale.
yeah.
Fascinating stuff. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Do you guys have like a website or anything, or like a Facebook page where folks can see this stuff?
So we have a brand new website actually,
Mhm.
and it's at www.collardproperties.ca. So that's COLLARD properties.ca.
Yep. And you can find us on Facebook too, Collard Properties.
Yep. And then our son actually has his own Facebook page. What's your
Ah,
Facebook page?
The Teenage Investor.
Teenage Investor.
Yeah.
And that's Aaron for folks who are listening. Aaron, how old are you?
Just turned 15.
Just turned 15.
Yeah.
Just barely a teenager.
Barely.
Aaron, what do you think about all this?
I mean, I'm into it. I invest on my own too, so I like it.
How do you invest on your own?
I do private lending, and I have my own property.
Which is
A sixplex it's a fiveplex in Hamilton. It's zoned as a sixplex, so we're adding another unit into it, and yeah, we just started like fixing it up about 2 months ago.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
Do you meet
Yeah.
the tenants yourself? Screen them, collect rent?
I've met them. They don't know I'm the owner.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're trying to teach Aaron to do real estate the way that we probably should have done it from the beginning, where we present ourselves in most instances as the property manager instead of the owner. Just part of the property management company. It just kind of takes us out of having to mediate issues that arise. So so Aaron has met the tenants.
I think I met not all of them.
But he's actually had to serve notices to them. So that went okay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's learning. So this property that he purchased, actually, why don't you explain how you purchased the property?
I use private lending, so since she's done a lot of it, we had like this big conference. Well, not that big. It's like what, 30 people?
Yep, that's pretty big.
So there's like a dinner that we all had, and we had a Zoom call. So I just presented my deal
to other investors.
On a slideshow to a bunch of other investors, and in like I think it was 48 hours, we had like $400,000 collected.
400,000?
Yeah. I know.
Amazing.
Yeah. So our investor world has been so kind to Aaron, and I mean, we could not be any more thankful for the support that he's been given, and it's been pretty amazing. We have some friends out there. I don't know if I should name drop, but people like Anna and Doug Scott, actually, they've been really good about asking Aaron the right questions and really getting him thinking about real estate. So he's really, really learned a lot from our investor group. It's been incredible.
Love Doug and Anna Scott.
Yeah.
They're coming to speak at one of my meetings, hopefully in June.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where to go next? Can you share the terms that you were offering in case people are interested?
Yeah. I do minimum $5,000 for lending at, I think, what was it? Minimum 4 months.
Minimum 4 months.
Minimum
yes.
4 months at 14%.
Yearly interest.
Okay, and just as a disclaimer, you knew everyone that was on that call. This wasn't just a blast out to the public.
Oh yes, yeah. No.
So again, just a disclaimer for the listeners. Like you all knew the people that you were investing, that you were presenting an opportunity to. This wasn't just like a blast to a cold public audience.
No. Nothing like that. We don't want to get in trouble with the Securities Commission.
Nobody does.
Yeah. No, it's always to our investor friends. That's it. So, yeah.
That's amazing.
No, it's been good. Yeah, and then he's responsible for everything. So, like, he pays all the bills. He has to project manage it. This is not going to be another job for Jamie and I. We have enough of our own stuff on the go. So, he started at 14, like paying hydro bills. Well, actually getting hydro put in the company name and water bills, and he has to do it all, dealing with, realtors, and I'm not doing it for him. We will guide him and show him the process, but this is the time that he needs to learn how to do it all. So that's what he's been doing. Right now, he's got a $3,000 tax bill sitting on the counter that he has to pay today. So, yeah.
So we talked about all these other cities. Can you summarize your real estate holdings for the listeners' benefit?
Sure. Yeah. So we started buying real estate in February of 2017, and we now have 73 units and counting. So we have another one in the works right now that I don't think I'm really supposed to talk about, but we do have another one in the works. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, so we started just doing duplexes, triplexes, so the residential component, and now we've moved up to, we're just sticking within the commercial asset class. So far it's only been commercial multifamily, but we are looking at some bigger asset classes as well. So mixed use, some, we're very interested, if anybody knows of any that are for sale, storage units.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that we're very, very interested in buying. But
medical
buildings, yeah, those things. So, and the reason for that, I think for us, is that our strategy has always been, up to this point, is we use the BRRRR strategy. So the buy, renovate, refinance, rent, repeat strategy. And we do that even with our apartment buildings. But now we just want to have a few more assets that are just passive income, right? So that's been the challenge, is you can only BRRRR so many apartment buildings at a time before your contractors start to get upset with you. So at this point, I need about 15 project managers. But it's been good, and we do have a really good group of realtors that we work with, and they kind of go wherever we ask them to, don't they? Yeah. And they focus on commercial assets, so we're looking at a bunch of different opportunities that are out there right now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Where are you focusing on now then? Still commercial in the bigger cities?
Commercial in the bigger cities. We're actually looking at like some really big opportunities. We're going to push the limits this year. So we're looking at one it's actually a $35 million project. Can't necessarily disclose the location of that one at my realtor's request, but that's a brand new building almost. So it was actually tenanted in 2017. Mixed use, it's in like an A++ location. You'll never get a better location. So for those kinds of projects, we would bring in shareholders when we set up the corporations on that. And then we're looking in the Caribbean. So we've started to part of the reason that we did real estate is to be in the Caribbean. So we don't like winter. We hate dealing with snow. Jamie hates anything to do with getting ice off of my car.
Yeah, for sure.
To the point where my 85-year-old neighbor usually does it before Jamie does it. So bad, I know. So
is the cursing that bad that he has to like rescue you from it?
So yeah, we have two two properties under contract right now in Curacao that I'm impatiently waiting for the call from our mortgage broker on the island. One is going to be just strictly a short-term rental. That one would cash flow no less than $20,000 US per year. Then there's another property that Jamie and I will be in there in the winter. When we're not there, it'll be a short-term rental. and that one's right on the water, right
Yeah.
on the water. Like I literally have a set of stairs that go from my deck to the reef, right down a cliff into the water. It's beautiful. So yeah,
And the internet's good there?
it is.
Yeah.
It is very good there. Yeah.
And the
So,
time zone? What time zone is that?
It's 1 hour behind us.
yeah.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm selfishly asking for trading hour reasons.
Yeah. I knew what you were getting
It
at.
was so funny because when we were there, I actually opened up my trading app and I was like, why is nothing working? And then I'm like, oh, different time zone. I was kind of panicked for a little bit, but yeah. So, but yeah, no, like it's great. And now that we have the teams developed, it's crazy that it's only taken 3 years, but it doesn't matter where we are in the world. We have a project manager that, you know, he does what he needs to do. And I actually have lists. I think I have one sitting here. This is how professional my lists are. I don't know, but it's like I literally send him to-do lists that is like, these are the units that need to be done in this time frame. Figure it out. And he does, you know, and
It's Leslie's cousin, so she can.
yeah, we yell at each other. I'm not going to say there's no swearing, but you know, it's fun and games. But he gets stuff done for us. So Jamie and I do have the ability now to still manage our real estate here while we're managing real estate on the island. So yeah.
In January 2017, did you think this would be all possible?
Okay, I want you to tell Erwin what our goal was.
So when we went to Keyspire, so that was like September 2016. They wanted us to write down what our goals were, like what we wanted to accomplish. And our goal was to buy one single family house per year for 10 years. And we thought that would set us up for retirement, you know, when we got older. And that was our goal.
Yep.
That was what we thought would be awesome.
Yeah, we thought we'd be set for life if we had that.
Yeah. Things changed a little.
Yeah. A
What
little
changed?
bit. I'm a workaholic. I mean, that's probably putting it lightly. It is putting it lightly. I'm a workaholic, and we're both very goal driven. So we write our goals. We are those people. We write everything down. We have vision boards, and I like to. I don't care what anybody else thinks or says, but I like to prove to myself that I can do things. So I've just always been that way. My mind never stops.
Yeah.
And Jamie just kind of has come along for the ride, and he tells me I can't do things, which is perfect because that drives me to do it. I don't like being told I can't do things. So, but it's been a good balancing act, right, in the last few years. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I want to say we learned how easy it was. I mean, it wasn't easy. At first, we're doing all the renovations ourselves. But then when you know, our first little house we bought, we renovated it ourselves. And 2 months later, we refinanced it. And
it paid for a duplex.
Yes, we pulled $52,000 out of it. And that bought our next property. And we're like, well, that was easy. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
You know, and just kept moving along like that.
Yeah. And now we're doing bigger and bigger projects, right? Just for scalability and to keep ourselves sane.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Yeah.
It's changed. We don't do the work. We hire the work out.
Yep.
But same sort of concept.
Yep.
You mentioned you have a project manager who's your Leslie's cousin. Who else do you have on staff? Do you have any other do you have anyone else on payroll, or like they're contracted for 40 hours a week type thing?
Yeah, we actually have 5, 6. How many contractors do
we have? 5 contractors.
5 full-time contractors.
Full-time?
They only work for us. They're subcontractors, but they only work for us. They're actually looking for more contractors, to be honest, because we have so many projects. We have a painter, so we have
that she only works.
She only works for us. Yep.
It's Leslie's aunt again, but she.
It's funny that everybody says never do business with your family, and my aunt and my cousin help run our business like it was their own, which is like we couldn't have found better people to do it, could
Yeah, yeah, they do. They literally treat it like it's their own
we?
business.
Yeah, and we find out sometimes where like my aunt will, go in and kind of give the electrician crap or whatever for something that she doesn't think is done right, and like they deal with all these issues that we don't even know we had.
Yeah.
So it's been incredible. And there, my cousin Tyson, which he's also, he never stops. He works his butt off, doesn't he?
Yep. He's a plumber by trade.
Yeah.
But he can do just about anything.
hmm
Um,
And he's hired contractors and
Yep.
by trade. Yep. Yeah.
And then we also have Cam Baker, who is our property manager.
Oh
But-
my goodness, property manager extraordinaire.
But he goes to university still. He's at University of Guelph.
Not by choice.
His parents are making him finish.
Yeah.
But we basically just gave him the open invite that whenever he wants to work, that we have something for him to do, like paperwork wise or
Yeah.
or whatever. If it's running around for Tyson to pick up renovation supplies or whatever. So whenever he wants hours, he can come work for us.
Yep.
That way too. So
Yeah.
he works full time for us as well.
And he's extremely organized.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cam has actually put systems into place for us. He's worked for us for just under a year now. And he's put these incredible systems into place that Jamie and I have no idea why we didn't think about them. But
Tell him about the stupidest one. We had
oh my goodness.
So we have all these units, and we were making keys up for all the contractors, painters, and everything. And first one Cam helped us with, he brought a lockbox and put it up, and we were like,
Why did we not think about this?
why did we not think of this? We just, just
Like-
something silly like that, right? Just simple, easy systems like that he's helped us.
Yeah.
And, Google Sheets and stuff like that, so we can all see what's on the agenda to do for the week and stuff like that.
How old is Cam?
He's like 20 or 21. I don't know.
Yeah,
He's
So 21.
yeah, like just, and he's shareholder in 2 of our buildings, and he helps his parents because they own their own real estate. Like he's insane. He's really, really good.
Yeah, he's really good at what he does.
He's very good at it, and he deals with tenants better than Jamie or I ever could. So we knew that we weren't the greatest dealing with tenants because tenants would call with an issue, and Jamie wanted to just go and drop everything, even if it wasn't something that needed to be fixed right away. Jamie felt the need to go immediately to deal with it, and then I was kind of the opposite, where I'd say, well, that can wait for a couple days or whatever. But Cam has a great relationship with all the tenants. He prioritizes everything that needs to be fixed. He calls the contractors for us. So he actually moved. Did you know he moved a fridge into a unit the other day, and we didn't even know about it? I had no idea, which is great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my favorite type of property management.
Yeah.
I remember getting a text from our PM how he said it was a Monday. And his text was, "Oh, there was a gas leak at this property, and there was a pest problem at this property. They had rats, but I took care of it. I didn't want to bother you on a weekend."
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
Like that is an appropriate communication.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
I can't stand the opposite. We have gas leak and we have a pest problem. What are we gonna do about it? I can't stand it when people communicate that way.
I know. Us either. We're too busy, right? And I'm sure that you're just as busy as we are. So you really need the right people on your team to just take care of things.
Yeah, it's actually a good lesson for the listener, for anyone who's new to this. Like both of those things cost less than $300, so it's actually in my PM contract, and I'll even put it in a PM's contract if it's not in there. If it's under $300 and it makes the tenant happy, you do it. Don't ask me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is there any reason I can say no to either case? A gas leak or rats in the property?
I know. Yeah, you have to deal with both of them, right? So I agree. That's
Yeah.
$300 to have a happy tenant. Go ahead. Yeah.
There's no way I can say no.
No.
No, it has to be done.
Yeah.
So why tell us about it? Just do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the gas leak is just you have to meet the gas person, like it was like Reliance or whoever it was, right? So I just
Yeah.
have to pay for time, and there's no way I can't do these things. Don't even
Yeah.
ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, we just even found out today that Cam gave a whole building notice because there was debris in the yard, and he didn't know like where it came from. So it was a fourplex, and we found out because we got something in the mail saying that there was a chair or something that had to be picked up. Anyway, we called Cam and said, do you know about this? And he was like, oh yeah, I already gave them all notice. We're like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
great.
and he's like, yeah, it's cleaned up, it's gone. I'm like, oh, okay.
Perfect. We'd had
Never
no
mind.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any advice on where to find a cam for anyone?
You can't have my Cam.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's
A real estate course at the University of Guelph.
yeah, that's what
That's
he's
where we-
actually taking. Funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real estate business, I think. Yeah.
Real estate business is what he's taking in university.
Yeah.
So we met him at Keyspire.
Is he
And-
coached by anyone? I'm wondering if this is the same person. I just have a feeling I know I have a mutual friends with this person, with Cam.
I don't think he's coached by anyone.
Karen Hayhurst a little bit, but
Maybe I don't know. I don't know.
Interesting. No, his story sounds familiar. No, that's cool. So Keyspire, September, that's when you started. How's it been? And you're
Been
still
great.
going? You're still there? And I know
Yep.
you have
Yeah.
a lot of friends from there.
Yeah.
yep, the network's been great.
Yeah.
I mean,
is,
training was really good
Mhm.
and got us. I mean, we had no idea how to do any of this. So, I mean, they literally taught us everything. And I would say now we don't go so much for the training because we've done it all, but we go more just for the networking with people.
Yeah.
It's a lot of great people in that community, and
Mhm.
Mhm.
that's the best part.
Yeah, I think becoming members of Keyspire was probably the best thing we've ever done.
Yep.
Right. So it's not cheap. It's not a cheap education course, and Jamie and I were kind of wondering whether or not should we not spend the money, and we just figured we were young enough that if we spent the money and we didn't get anything out of it, then it's not the end of the world, and it has changed our life 100%. So it's one of those things where we're learning from the experts, so we did what the experts did,
Mhm.
and it works. I mean, if you put it into practice, what all the experts in the field, not just even with Keyspire, with other investors that we look up to, if you put into practice what they teach you to do, then it really, really does work. So
I think we really like the trainings. Like,
yeah,
we take trainings all the time. We always attend classes, like your stock
Coaching.
hacker class,
Yep.
and like coaching,
we love coaching.
anything like that. Like, we were trying to tally up how much we spent on coaching in the last 3 years.
Mhm.
Probably
And training.
It's
Yeah.
probably been $80,000 we've spent.
That's not bad.
But
It's funny that you say it's not bad. If we told people in our social group outside of real estate that that's what we spent, they think we were crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But-
try. Then after that, once they tell you they're crazy, tell them how much you have outstanding in mortgages.
yeah, I know.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, what? Their
And how-
minds then
and
melts.
Don't ask me what I've spent. Ask me how much I've made. Right? Like
Yeah.
that's the big thing. So yeah, we love coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a commercial coach out west. We have a business coach for Jamie's mechanic shop. We still go to real estate trainings. I'm still a research junkie online about real estate. I mean, I love to look up stuff about real estate and
Yeah.
learn from other people. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been awesome. And yeah, like even with the stocks, when we came to your training, like that just opened up a whole new realm of information that we didn't even know existed in the world. Did we? We were like, what is options?
We didn't know anything about options.
Nothing.
Mhm.
Blew our mind. Omar, Matthew, I mean, they seem like really, really great guys. And genuine. And now because of that, like we're really trying to learn that now. So yeah.
How did you guys end up at that class? I think I know, but just wanted to ask.
I think I was getting your mailings, and
Oh,
then
okay.
Jamie and I always like to know, well, how is everybody else making money? And then when you were into your advertising, when you were talking about, some of the six figures, I was like, I got to know this. Because if
Yeah.
I can make money anywhere in the world while I'm traveling, let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of insane because
Yeah.
this whole we've been all brought up to believe that you have to work hard to make money.
Yeah, don't do that.
I cannot believe how highly leveraged both stock hacking and real estate is.
I know.
That you don't have to do it all yourself.
No. It's so true. Yeah. And it's funny that you use the word highly leveraged
Mm-hmm.
because when Jamie and I first went to the Keyspire 3-day weekend,
Mhm.
I was the person that I just needed to pay off my mortgage. I
Mhm.
paid my bills before they came in. I'd log into Bell and pay all my phone bills and whatever, a week before they even came to me in the mail.
Mhm.
And they said at our very first, it was probably within the first 2 hours, that if you want to be a successful real estate investor, that you have to be okay with being highly leveraged. And I was like, I cannot do this.
I remember looking at me and
I
saying,
went into panic mode.
no. Yeah.
Like just complete panic mode. And now I'm like, oh, the bank wants to give me $20,000 in a line of credit. Yes, please. I'm going to invest every cent of that.
What
just
changed?
completely different.
Because
Well,
people are
because
still stuck on that. It's unfortunate because lots of what I've noticed is people's parents who went through depressions or
yep,
hyperinflation periods, so that's what they taught their kids is do not have debt without having context of where the economy is, where the world
yep,
economy is. China just had an interest rate cut, right? They just cut 10 basis points. Pretty
yep.
sure a lot of people are going to follow.
Yeah.
So what changed for you because you probably learned that from somewhere, and those things are usually hard to unlearn.
Simple math, honestly. I mean, I'm not a math person,
Mhm.
but the longer that we sat in on that weekend and we realized the cash flow that you can get from real estate, and we weren't even looking at other forms of investing like private lending or anything like that. It was just strictly cash flow from real estate and getting free properties essentially. It just made sense, right? And then after we did our first property, it just became an addiction, right? And I'll take any money that the bank gives me at this point because I know how much that money has made us in the last 3 years, and I never ever would have thought that we would have been in the position that we're in right now, ever. So I thought we were going to be poor people for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
No, honestly, right?
Yeah.
So.
But Jamie has his own business, and you had a government job, did you not?
Yep.
You still thought you were going to be poor?
Yep, I did. So I mean, we were the people that we weren't living. Well, I guess we were almost living paycheck to paycheck, right? My government job, probation officers, just so you know, full disclosure, we don't make a lot of money. I loved my job, 100% loved it. I still loved it when I left it in April. But we were in a better financial position at that point. But it's not, I mean, I would have had a pension, but I would have had to work for the next 30 years to get it.
And in my mechanic shop at that point,
I was just breaking even, probably.
I was the mechanic shop.
Yeah.
I was doing it by myself, and I just started it, and I was just working by myself. I might have had one other apprentice at that point, but I was all about how much work I could put out, right? Where now we've learned to hire other people to do that work, and you can scale a lot faster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's all through coaching and stuff, right? That
Mhm.
taught us that.
When did you hire the coach? When did you make that switch to building a scalable business?
The coach for my mechanic business, I think we did it about
Year and a half ago.
about a year and a half ago.
Yep.
But I mean, even just doing the Keyspire stuff trained us how to
Think differently.
think differently.
That's
exactly.
amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And it's funny because our coach teaches, our business coach has taught to work on your business and not in your business. And that was something that that was hard for Jamie at first, but now that's exactly what we do. So it's just kind of, our life is just kind of morphed into that, right? Like, I wish you could see my counter. Like, I don't even know if you can see my island at this point. It's like full of papers, but it's all stuff that is working on our business and not in our business.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like the everyday management of the real estate assets, and sending information to mortgage brokers and all that kind of stuff that we need to do some of that ourselves. With the mechanic shop, it's more of just doing advertising now, right? Like keeping up with social media posts and going out there and making sure everything's running smoothly, and he still gets paid to do that. Like it's a whole different mindset.
Oh boy, where to go next? I have a lot of
What?
questions. So just quick disclaimer: this sounds like a Keyspire commercial. I have nothing to do with Keyspire, in case folks don't know. Do you have any favorite trainers at Keyspire? I'm actually curious.
No, I don't think we do. Right? Not at Keyspire. I mean, everybody's been really great there.
Yeah, it's just more about the information.
Yeah, like they send a consistent message. Everybody pretty well sends a consistent message, and I think that message that they send is really good, and that is that anybody can be a real estate investor as long as you put the time and effort in to making it happen, right? And there's an Ask a Coach on our forum. We have like a private forum, so we can actually go on and ask any coach any question, and anybody will answer us, right? So yeah, and it's always really good answers that you get. Yeah.
So I'll ask you this one question. How did you get Aaron interested in real estate? Or maybe Aaron wants to answer that question, because there's actually a lot. I'm not sure if you guys know, but a lot of parents actually struggle with this. Here's a good example. There's an IWIN member, has an ultra successful business, 3 kids who don't want it, so he's selling it. A multi-million-dollar business.
Aaron just said, "I'll take it."
multi-million-dollar business. All 3 kids don't want it.
So, Aaron, when we first started,
He can answer.
Yeah. What did you think of it when we first started?
Well, okay. Which one was the triplex on the corner?
In
Burford, yeah. There's a property.
Which property was that?
98 King.
Like 4th or 5th, probably?
Probably 5th, yeah.
Okay, 5th. So probably until their 5th property, I hated it.
He did.
Like, I despised it. I hated working on it, and I hated everything to do with it. And then, I mean, I didn't really do anything fun. I kind of just like threw stuff out and did caulking and boarding stuff. The stuff that they didn't want to do.
That's right, yeah.
And then, as I sort of started to get older, and they started sort of teaching me about finances and showing me the numbers and the outcomes, I started to realize that it makes a lot of money, and I kind of understood more and more how it works. And then I got to do more fun stuff. So I worked every weekend. I worked all summer. They paid me to work, and it just made more sense. And I like it now. I actually like working on properties. So I sort of just started to get into it, realize that it's a really good way to make money. I think it's really fun. And so I sort of started to look at it at more of an investor's view. And then we figured out that it's possible for me to buy a property. So we started working on that. And then in, October we found mine?
Yep.
And so we started doing all the work for mine in October and got it in December.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So he I think one of the biggest things with Aaron now is that he's learned how to run numbers on properties too.
Mhm.
So he fills in performas, and I mean, we're talking commercial here. Fills in performas and basically, sees how much work goes into just trying to figure out if the property makes sense to even buy it before we even go look at it, right? So his first performa he did, his eyes were like wide, like this is what I'm going to make on a refinance, and we're like, yeah, like that's the number that goes in your pocket. So I think that's been a big thing, and we believe in teaching him financial literacy.
Mhm.
He does not get an allowance. We don't believe in it. He gets money if he needs it to go out or whatever, but for what, about 3-4 years, this is a kid who made supper for us every night because we were literally coming in the door from work and then eating very quickly, and the three of us were off to work on a property. So he made supper, he did a lot of the housekeeping, but that was just that was just an expectation of our household, right?
Mhm.
So in order to teach him some of the financial literacy, the big thing for us is that he has to know how much our properties make. He needs to know how to pay the bills. He needs to know what the bills are and how much goes in our pocket. And I think that's really where we've seen the big change in him, in that this is something that he wants to do now.
Amazing. So I
Yeah,
noticed Aaron is on, I believe, the list of speakers for your conference.
he is, yes.
Can you tell us about the conference and what Aaron's talking about and everything else to do with the conference?
Yeah. So we decided to run a commercial conference because we can't find any. So it's so hard to find any kind of topics out there relating specifically to commercial. So this is going to be the first of a series of different events that we put on. So this is we're going to be looking at some more high level strategies with commercial, whether that be multifamily, land development, mixed use. And then we're basically bringing our team to the table to talk about it. And it's going to be on March 28th in Brantford, and it's from 9 to 4:30. And anybody can go online and register. And right now we have a 50% off. So you can register online on our website at collardproperties.ca, and just click on the events link.
Yep.
Yeah.
And all the information on the conference will be there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. It's all there. So some of the speakers we have Kyle Ford coming. He is a mortgage broker who deals with commercial financing.
Mhm.
We actually have our own lawyer coming to the table, Jerry
Mhm.
Gatto of Gatto Law from Ancaster. Amazing guy. He's a smart one. And then our realtors are coming. Aaron's going to be there. What are you going to talk about?
Private lending and sort of basically just my story on investing.
Yeah.
And how I got started.
Fantastic.
Yep.
And this is
Yeah.
all commercial, residential and storage, anything?
Yeah, it's just all commercial.
Office,
Yep.
retail.
Yep. So nothing's off the table there. Our team will answer questions about any kind of asset class you have questions about. Yeah.
Fabulous. How
Yeah.
excited are you guys?
I'm pretty friggin' excited about this. Yeah.
Pretty pumped.
It's so nice to be able to bring those people together and actually give people the education that Jamie and I have been dying to get our hands on.
Yeah. The commercials, it's quite niche, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure you're finding that.
It is.
Yeah.
Super awesome. Super amazing. This has been fantastic. One more time, where can people learn about the date The date, location, and with the website.
You can go to www.coloredproperties.ca and click on the events link. And it's going to be held on March the 28th at the Hampton Inn in Brantford. Brand new building, beautiful, isn't it? Yep.
And it's not just specific to Brantford real estate. It's
No.
No. Just specific to commercial assets.
Yep.
Yep.
amazing. So even if there's like if someone say there's a property in Newmarket, you'll go see it.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good
Sure.
to know. Awesome.
Yeah.
So
We go
amazing
anywhere.
interview,
Yeah.
you three.
Thank
I'm
you.
completely impressed by Aaron's interest in real estate because, sorry, excuse me. To be honest, I don't know if you guys know, but many investors challenge getting kids interested, and they often resent
Yep.
real estate because of.
Hello.
That's my.
Yeah.
Often children resent real estate
Yeah,
because
for
it takes them
sure.
away from their parents and also weekends and evenings and kind of like what you mentioned. Your son has a lot of responsibilities to help. Be
Yeah,
part of your real
yeah.
estate business.
Yeah.
For sure.
Look how cute they are.
For anyone who's watching, my kids have joined me.
Yeah.
All right, we're off to jiu-jitsu class.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Jamie,
Yeah,
Leslie,
thank
thanks
you
again
so
for
much
doing this.
having us.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Great.
Hello. Hello.
We're
Hello.
signing off. Thanks again for doing this.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Erwin. We'll chat soon.
I mean, definitely. We'll talk more. All right. Thanks.
Okay.
Talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.